This video goes out to FOREX. Thanks very much for your suggestion. Now, inflation, it's up globally and it's up massively. It's putting us all under pressure. Now, over the next few weeks, I'm going to focus in on individual countries and find the best inflation busting stocks for you to take a look at and have a think about and possibly add them into your investing and trading. And today, focusing in on Australia, I've got a short list of about 22 stocks that I've refined down to 9 to share with you in this video. So with that, let's get on with the analysis. So if you want to beat inflation, trading, investing in stocks, then it really comes down to the sectors to look at, to pick those stocks from. And there's some that historically have pretty much beaten inflation every time, and they're really obvious when you think about it. Energy sector, banking sector, consumer staples, materials, financials, utilities, some commodity companies, those companies that are going to benefit from an increase in inflation. And obviously interest rates go hand in hand with that as well. So as they rise, what companies are going to benefit from there. Now, with inflation in Australia over 5%, now is a good time to start thinking of these sort of stocks. And I put together a short list of about 22 stocks from the ASX 200 that I would look at. And as you can see from the wheels there, the pie charts, they're broken down into different stock sectors and industries. You see a big chunk, 36% from non-energy minerals, 23% finance, 23% energy minerals. Then we've got breakdown of retail trades, for example, and utilities. And specifically industries, we've got 13 I've looked at: major banks, alternative power, finance, rentals, some other areas, precious metals, steel, coal, other metals, minerals, oil, gas production. So a good selection to pick from. But what was that shortlist made up of? So I'll quickly do a rundown of the stocks that I looked at. We've got Woolworths, we've got Metcash, Elders, Westpac Banking, Macquarie Group, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, Australia New Zealand Banking Group, Woodside Energy, Santos Limited, New Hope Corporation, Carden Energy, Whitehaven Coal, EML Payments. And then going a bit further down, we got Boral Limited, AGL Energy, BHP, Rio, Mineral Resource Limited, Oz Minerals, IGO Limited, EMG, and finally there we've got FMG, Fortescue Metals, and PLS Pilbara Minerals. And I've got a good selection that I've filtered down into 9 that I see as my favourites from that list, and we are going to take a look at those now. Before we start, just note that on the top of the chart is the daily chart for the stock we're looking at, and at the bottom the weekly chart, so a much longer viewpoint of the share price performance. And first up, it's Woolworths, ticker WOW, huge retail group, vast economies of scale through their size, can pass on these inflationary increases through their sales and returns and benefit in the longer term. You can see the weekly chart there at the bottom looking pretty healthy, maybe a buying the dip opportunity there. Next up, another consumer staple stock called Metcash. They're a wholesale distribution marketing company across Australia and New Zealand, and consumer staples, it's the same sort of thinking as Woolworths. Price increases, inflation are going to be passed on through their goods, and historically, let's say previously, consumer staple stocks have done well in times of inflation. So sticking with consumer staples for our third choice, Elders Limited are an Australian-based agri-business company, and obviously they're going to be passing on inflationary prices through to the end users and be gaining as a consequence. Long-term chart, 1 week, looking very healthy. Again, possibly a buying the dip opportunity. Next up, Macquarie Group, international, global financial services company operating asset management, retail and business banking, investment banking, the whole lot. And obviously inflation increases, interest rates rise, banks benefit in simplistic terms, and they've not been doing too badly anyway over the last few years. Been selling off a bit more recent, last few months, just starting to stabilise and maybe on the turn once more. Then we've got our first energy company, Santos Limited, a nat gas company into exploration, development, production, transportation, the whole gamut. And obviously, big Australian company, and prices rise, don't they, in these commodities, as we've discussed time and time again. It's an obvious play, but it's one of the stronger looking stocks there, Santos Limited. Then we have another energy stock, New Hope Corporation, a diversified energy company. They operate through coal mining and various other sectors. But the interesting thing with coal mining is the process of producing energy and the demand that is there. And as other sources of the raw inputs into the production of energy increases in demand, the need for coal comes back in line, especially in these sort of times. And New Hope Corporation could be one to benefit. Now, Mineral Resources are an Australian-based mining company, and why I picked these into the mix is because they operate across multiple commodities, especially in iron ore and lithium. And I like lithium because of its potential for the ever-expanding EV market, and we're still going to need cars in inflation. So that sort of firm has, a necessity, a requirement for pushing its products out to the market, which is always good in times of inflation. And there were other companies, like I said, I thought about. Pilbara is another interesting one, but for me, Mineral Resources just takes the finishing line there above those others. Then we have Whitehaven Coal, and a bit similar to our previous look at New Hope, then it's the same fundamentals behind it. They are one of the bigger coal producers in Australia, and will obviously benefit, as we previously discussed. And looking at the charts there, weekly charts been very strong over 21, 22, and focusing on the daily, just pulled back, hovering, creating support around the late 4 area, maybe for a push on upwards. And to finish off, we've got Woodside Energy, formerly Woodside Petroleum. It's a global energy company into LNG, oils, all sorts of nat gas type products, oil products, and have been doing pretty well over 21, 22, and haven't had a too bad 22 so far. Pulled back like other stocks, maybe looking for that rebound. So that is the 9. Let me know in those comments below what you think of my selection. Have I missed any? Would you have added any others? Would you consider any other sectors? Like I say, let me know in those comments. Look forward to hearing from you. And if you've enjoyed today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons. And all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching. Good luck with the trading, and I'll see you in the next video.